Welcome to the review of Star Trek Picard. This review is taking place after Episode 2. What can we expect from the future according to Picard in Episode 2? Those of you that watched Episode 1 may have been left with the same feeling that a lot of us were, which is, what is this show about? Because Episode 1 got into so many issues and didn't resolve anything, and you're just kind of like, okay, that was a really, really long beginning to what? And now we know. Kathleen Kennedy said that the Force is female. She was proven incorrect, because the Force is neither female nor male. It is simply a thing that manipulates things. And with that definition in mind, it's kind of rude that she would have said Force is female. But nonetheless, no, according to Star Trek Picard, the future is female. When we get into the second episode, every person of importance, like her, is the one of intellectual influence and power. This Romulan fellow, he has pretty much know anything. And later on in the episode, this is obviously going to be filled with spoilers, she smacks him and calls him an idiot. If a man smacks a woman and calls her an idiot, he is instantly deemed a villain. If you can even picture that ever happening on a television show. But no, she slaps him and calls him an idiot. And is she the villain? Well, not according to the show, but according to all rational thought, you don't smack people and call them an idiot and come out the hero. Woman of power. She's the one that is the clued Picard into the robot daughter. Okay? Then we got Picard. Oh, we have just really atrocious special effects. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, Black Man of Power. Kind of. He has like 2 lines. This is what I'm talking about. This is really bad special effects. But to be fair, the original Star Trek special effects were but that was the 1960s and the budget was different. But maybe they're mimicking that, and so I'll give them an out on that one. Okay, here's the first woman to say the next line. She's bossing him around. This woman is going... This one. You'll also notice... Okay, because she is... Hard to figure out what race she's from. But the future... Oh, there's the droid. Okay. Oh, another black man. Okay, good for him. White woman, overweight, of course. Can't have pretty people in the future. No offense, lady. Sorry. Let's see. Really bad special effects. And wow, that set is actually much smaller when they show it from that angle. Okay, there we go. Now, as we scan through this, let's go a little bit further. Woman of power who smacks men and calls them idiots. Yeah, that's her. What else do we got? One of the things that's interesting about this episode, woman of power, man of mystery, one of the few men on the show. There are barely any men on the show, because that opening scene with all the people in the red suits, that's like 30 seconds. Okay. Oh, man of power. He's a doctor. He's a really old doctor. Okay. No man of power. He keeps begging that Romulan woman for all the answers. He's Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Watson had more brains than Picard has in this episode. Okay, he goes back to Starfleet. Let's see if it'll do it, because this leaps in 10 seconds. No, it didn't do it. Come on, let's find it. There's actually another man in the episode. Let's see if I can find it. Come on. There it is. Whoop! Come on. Well, you've seen him anyways. Whoop! Look at this woman in her gigantic office. Woman of power. I don't care that women have power, but like, there's no men on this in this future. There's really not. That's not even a man, it turns out. Turns out that's a woman, too. And when they are shown, they're shown to be evil. Come on, look at those eyebrows. Is this? You want to buy a car from this guy? I don't think so. Okay. There's just not that many. There's only like 4. There's the demon dude I just showed you who's on screen for a couple seconds. There's the man of mystery who gets a lot more screen time. This is the android twin. She has the power. There's whoever this girl is from beginning. We don't know yet. It hasn't revealed. Mystery Man. Okay. But what's also fascinating about this? There's more women of power telling him what to do, because he clearly can't think. And then I hope I don't get tagged for this because of scanning through with the copyright. Because I am doing a review. Thank you. Ooh, Romulan, woman in power. Who's she talking to? Oh, no. Oh, no, you don't. Go back. So she's got her hired henchman. And, ooh, woman of power. And where's it at? Oh, it must come up later. Yeah, then this is the scene where she smacks him. Not going to show it. Okay. And then, where do we go? Come on. Oh, there it is. Another woman of power. There's no men in this episode. There's only women, and they tend to be a bit older, which also brings up the other point. This episode doesn't take place... they had to go to Vasquez Rock, because all Star Trek goes to Vasquez Rock, and there's Vasquez Rock, and there's Picard. You know, if you ever go to Vasquez Rock, it's off the 14 outside of LA, and boy... trying to get there on a day where they're not shooting is just like going over to the Bat Cave, which is Bronson Canyon Cave. Good luck going there when they're not filming something, and particularly sci-fi. And it's a long way to go to... I mean, there's not that many people that live by Vasquez Rock, so if you actually take the time to drive out there, and it's like, oh man, they won't even let me in the park. And it is a park. It's a state park. But this is the biggest set I've ever seen built there. They're usually making rock videos or sci-fi stuff. Anyways... guess what she is? That's right, she's a woman of power, because that's all that's in this episode. Ooh, man of mystery, man of mystery. Woman of power, mystery man. There's no children. In the original Star Treks, Next Generation originals, and the original show, TOS, there were children, because Roddenberry wanted children. Fans hated it. And a lot of the cast members didn't, with the ever so famous, "Shut up, Wesley!" But Roddenberry wanted children. He wanted people to know that there's children in the future. Well, according to this future, if you're of Hispanic descent, you guys are wiped out. Sorry, you're gone. If you're of Indian descent, you're wiped out. You're gone. Nope. If you're a man, you are neutered if you even exist. Which means there's no children. You have to have men to make children. It turns out it's like, oh, you have to have a woman to incubate the baby. Yeah, but you kind of need a man to create it. It's a two-part system. All of you should know this by now. And when you see a show with nothing but powerful women, because the future is female, not the Force, the future is female, and there's no kids. Well, because, what was that article that came out recently, that men don't want to date feminist women because they find them spiritually unattractive, regardless of what their face looks like, or etc. Okay, so, well, in the future, they all get the power, and they're all old because there's no kids to replace them, because they all got so uppity with their feminism that nobody wanted to mate with them, apparently. And, yeah. But you can slap them and call them an idiot if you're a woman, so that's good times. So what does the future reveal to us from Star Trek Picard? It reveals to us that black people live, white people live, Chinese people live, the rest of you, sorry. You've been wiped out of the universe. And we've also found out that women hold all the power, men are idiots, and they deserve to be smacked and called idiots, and somehow that doesn't make you a villain. And there's no kids. Is this a future you want? Is this the dystopian? Again, in episode 1, we didn't know what was going to happen. Now we know what's going to happen, and yeah, so all you male feminists, you're going to love this show. Is this a social justice warrior show? Not really. It's just 100% feminist. Again, Picard is played as an idiot through this. Think Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Think about the questions Watson asks. They're not even that good. When Picard asks his questions, it's because she's feeding them to him. And it's just like, oh, dude. I get that he's old and he's senile, but you know what? He could run for president in America, because apparently all of our presidential candidates must be 1,000 years old or older. Anyways, you might still enjoy the show. Just don't expect to see children or people that aren't black, white, or from somewhere around China, because that's all you're gonna get, apparently. And if you like kids, you're not gonna get anything to help you on the show. Oh, and they cuss. I forgot to say that. And they cuss. They're dropping the F-bomb like all over the place in the show. It's nice to know that in the future you can still use curse words and cuss, and it's completely acceptable. Because when Roddenberry said that we'd finally overcome all of our ails and all of our ills, that it's nice to know that no, you can still cuss at people. So there you go. That's the review for Star Trek Picard. Now that we know where it's going. If you like this content and you want more, thank you. Feel free to subscribe, but more importantly, if you really want to help the channel grow, then you need to share the video. I know it's a bit long, but it might be worthy to some people. And if you know somebody's like they're teetering on whether or not to watch the show or not, and these issues are important to them, send this video to them. Let them see it. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the future. The future that hopefully has men and maybe some children. And not everybody's cussing at each other.